Hi everyone, Matthew Roseman here with Roseman and Company LLC, bringing you another episode of The Business of You. Today we're going to talk about investments, and wanted to kick that off with a good friend of mine, Tony Cottingham. And so I'll show you some highlights in this video, and you can visit our website to see the full video of him and I discussing investments. Thank you, and see you soon. So today I have with me here Tony Cottingham. Tony, say hi.
Hello, everybody. How you doing, everyone out there that's listening? So we're looking at the why issue. The why is most of all, it was just building wealth for the family, man. Just being able to have freedom, as you get older and maybe some that's younger. It's about having memories. Being able to say, I had a great vacation with family. I was able to hang with family. We had a good time. I mean, I'm not going to remember how many clothes I had or how many pair of shoes that I had, but I'm going to remember the times where I really enjoyed myself with family and I have that freedom to be able to do so. So that's one of the reasons why. The other reason is, hey, I just want to make sure that at the end of the day, if I had an abundance of something, then let's share with the next man. So I don't believe in being stingy. If you get blessed with something, an abundance of things, then I do believe in, hey, let's share. Let's share the information. Let's help other people out so they can also grow. So it's never about just receiving all the money and fame for myself. Let's share it with somebody else.
Right. Amen. Good point. So I mean, again, you all know me. My five F's of why. Faith, family, friends, future,
Yes.
and fun. Sometimes it's a little bit confusing. It's especially these days. It's a lot of noise out there. And you mentioned to me once, that there's a difference between investors and traders. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Well, when I look at an investor, this is someone who's looking to be long term. They're looking to invest in the company, and my mindset is, hey, if I'm looking from investor mode, I'm saying, well, will I be willing to hang with this company at least for 5 years? Their ups, their downs, and I really truly believe that this company will grow. So therefore, I'm going to invest in that company and continue to invest in that company because I believe that, hey, they're going to grow. And my mindset is telling me, can I hang with them at least for 5 years or more? So that's typically, to me, an investor mindset. Now, when you're talking about a trader, to me, when it's trading time, that means I'm not looking to do too much of long term, maybe a daytime trade, some stocks, but I'm not looking at the long term with a company when I'm doing a trader. So it's kind of more to me like an in and out. It's not the long term investment. So it's two different mindsets that you can have going into investing in the market. I would like to say, when you're talking about risk, one thing I always want to bring up too is, okay, before we get into investing, always have some funds to invest. And not use the funds that you have to pay bills with. Take care of your bills, take care of your responsibility and have some money set aside that you can invest with, because that kind of help you with investing. So you can say, okay, this is money that I have that I pay my bills with, or here's my savings account for a rainy day or emergency funds. And here's my funds that I have here that I'm using to invest with. So that kind of help you along with that risk factor. But another thing that is brought up when you're talking about taking risk, let's see, we had the recent when you heard about the Robin Hood, you heard about the GameStops and what was all put out in the media and how those stocks was running so high and it was cheap. And those are stocks that, hey, you're taking a high risk in those stocks. The evaluation of those companies were not that high. And so you have to be very careful when you're talking about getting into those companies and buying. I'm not saying you can't do it, because I'm quite sure plenty of people made money off that. But at the same time, you're taking a risk when you don't understand that, hey, GameStop valuation was not that high.
Right.
You know, And there's a possibility that, hey, you may get in and make some, but then at the same time, it's so high that people may take their money out after it grew so big. And if you're not careful, you can get stuck holding the bag and say, wow, and put all this money into it. So in order to eliminate the risk is, you have to really pay attention to what stock you're trying to invest in. Is it profitable? Is it at the value or valuation is good, and do your research on it. I like to relate this, Matt, to growing up in the neighborhood that I grew up in. You see a dope house that's doing pretty good, and they say doing numbers in there, and it gets hot. Is what we call it. Yeah, that place is hot over there. And so therefore, you got to know that the police eventually, someone is going to eventually say, okay, it's doing what it's doing, is attracting too much attention. And at that point in time, you got to understand it's time to get out of there. If you're in there, if you was doing something, it was, hey, get what you're going to get and run. Don't try to set up shop over here because it's already hot. This place is going to get raided. So typically when the news come out on something, it's getting real hot. And that may mean that, do you want to go bother it? And if you do touch it, you might want to touch it and get out of it, especially if it's not, the valuation is kind of off. Like, wait a minute, how is this that high?
Yep.
How's AMC that high and GameStop that high? So that may mean that if you do it, you might want to hurry up and get out, but then be very careful because you can get hurt in situations like that. So,
all right. Thanks everyone for joining again. We will talk later, and appreciate Tony coming and sharing his time with us as well. All right. The business of you. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Bye.